Final Fantasy topic of discussion. Talk about the Final Fantasy VII compilation or Final Fantasy VII in general. And I'm gonna do this because, well, I think I want a video because I freaked out on stream. My bad. I feel sorry. I apologize. Now let's get right into the video. Let's get into the the birth mother of Sephiroth, Lucrecia Crescent. Has Lucretia's name been mistranslated in Dirge of Cerberus? Now, Dirge of Cerberus being the unpopular of Crisis Core and Advent Children of the compilation, there's another reason why it could be also being misconstrued as a worse game besides besides the game mechanics. Which, and again, I will go back and say it again. I really love Dirge of Cerberus. I don't care about what the views or the critics or the Final Fantasy fans say about it. I'll still play that game until I'm nothing but a bag of bones and a casket myself. I'm still gonna always be a Dirge of Cerberus defender, so you're gonna have to deal with that stuff. So by no means. But this is a small. I think this is possibly a small reason why people were rubbed off the wrong way and didn't like Dirge of Cerberus. Besides the gameplay mechanics, but there was a lot of there's one problem I will admit with Dirge of Cerberus. There was mistranslations with some of the characters and stuff like that. If you played the original Final Fantasy VII, you unlock Vincent Valentine's final weapon and his final limit break in the Lucrecia cave. And you find out, you watch the cutscene where Lucrecia leaves Vincent. Vincent's heartbroken, and, the Genova project commences, and, Sephiroth is born, yada yada. If you've seen that in the original Final Fantasy VII, it would bother you to see that her name was changed to Lucretia due to mistranslation error in Dirge of Cerberus. Now, yes, Nomura has kind of supervised Dirge of Cerberus. He actually supervised all the compilation games. All of them were supervised and actually, were actually supervised by Nomura himself. Even the one that Tabata, the guy who did Final Fantasy 15, Crisis Core, was supervised by Nomura himself. So even then, you'd think Nomura would catch on. And then again, Nomura is a forgetful guy. He forgets too, so you can't really give Nomura, you can't really trash Nomura that bad. I don't think you should be able to try. I don't think it should be legal to. Now, I have in the past, which, kind of hypocritically. But when it comes to like forgetting stuff, I think it's possible. But it's not just that. The people that work on Dirge of Cerberus mistranslated Lucretia from Lucrecia. And again, it could be the same thing with Aerith and Aerith. I think the real argument besides the import in the English versions of Aerith and Aerith is also Crisis Core, because Crisis Core made it permanent for Aerith. So Aerith is taken out of the thing from canon, even though I usually just call her Aerith. But that's not the point. The point is, yes, the compilation has mistranslated names for Final Fantasy VII characters, as much as it's possible to do so. Lucretia, which is Lucrecia Crescent, is one of those mistranslated names. And Lucrecia Crescent plays a big role in Dirge of Cerberus because it's a Valentine's game. So, she's a very important character. Not only that, she also birthed Sephiroth, our favorite silver-haired swordsman, who fell from grace. But that's not the point. The point is, she's a big deal in Dirge of Cerberus. So, having her mistranslated name could rub the fan base in a wrong way. Even though I absolutely love the game, because let's be honest, I could ignore all that stuff. That don't really bother me. I'm just bringing up the point of one of the flaws is a mistranslated name. Lucretia is not really Lucretia. It's really Lucrecia Crescent. And I will admit, I've been wrong about Aerith and Aerith. It really was Aerith all along. It's just a mistranslated, either from the import or from English, just something like that. But I think what it is, the people who created Dirge of Cerberus forgot the original Final Fantasy VII continuity, period, and pretty much forgot that she was already an existing character in the original Final Fantasy VII, though it was a secret thing. But yes, mistranslations actually did happen in between the compilation, which gets the fan base panties in a bunch. Now, it doesn't really bother me that much, because there's always going to be that. There's always going to be Titus versus Titus, Aerith versus Eris, Lucrecia versus Lucretia. But it is kind of important to keep continuity of the original if you're going to incorporate inside something that's an extended verse of it, which is the compilation. I think it's important to keep the names. Now, sure, Crisis Core kind of broke it off, but in the original Final Fantasy VII English, it was actually, and I will admit, it was Aerith all along. Now, granted, I'm not gonna make a big deal about this. I'm just bringing this whole translation error up, whether it's from the translate from Japanese and stuff like that. But even then, you'd think that they would actually take something from the original continuity that, and maybe they forgot Lucrecia Crescent was an established character in Final Fantasy VII, the original. Or maybe they did know, but they just didn't know what to call her because she doesn't play a big role. She just issues Vincent's final limit break and his final weapon, and just has a little cutscene, flashback, and, and then that's it. There's no more scenes of her. There's no mention of her. There's nothing. Except when they go fight Hojo, but only like a small snippet. And after that, it never gets brought up again until Dirge of Cerberus. So, you would think that they would try to actually come off the continuity, but maybe the English translator of Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus must have mistranslated Lucrecia to Lucretia. So, I can understand where the confusion is actually from. Now, granted, I might get dislikes on this video because, I'm not, people might think I'm trying to tell them how to pronounce the characters. I'm really not. I'm just pointing out that, even my favorite Final Fantasy spin-off games that I love, like Dirge of Cerberus, has some flaws, and it's really just the creative direction with stuff like that, not remembering original continuity. And I think it's just very important to keep notes of the original stuff just in case. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't. Maybe it's just a mistranslation. And who cares about mistranslation? It happens all the time with video games. Anything that's a Japanese video game, movie, comic book, anime, or whatever, there's always going to be some mistranslation. Or whether it's in like subtitles or sub or dub, whatever in the anime, and then in the video games, just the characters' names. It always happens. This is kind of the whole thing with playing, games that come from an imported country, is that the English directors don't, either forget or don't remember. But yeah, I'd have to say yes. I'd have to say I will fully admit that Dirge of Cerberus has kinda, as much as I love Dirge of Cerberus, it has kinda mistranslated Lucrecia Crescent's name. Now I'm starting to do it too. Lucrecia Crescent is actually the real name instead of Lucretia, but I'm not gonna get mad at anybody who spells it any other way, because let's be honest, for a while I've been calling Aerith Eris, so who am I to say what you can do and what you can't do? So may the crystal be with you. Pronounce the characters however you like. I'm not one of those elitist types. I'm just pointing out as that this actually just happens with spin-offs, because it's been years from the original game than it has for the Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus, and Avid Children. So remembering continuity can vary. So may the crystal be with you.
Also working on a Vincent Valentine web series, fan trailer at least. So please support JTS Productions if you want to see a Vincent Valentine, trailer. And then hopefully one day it becomes a web series. So there's that too.